Hello and welcome to Writer Rant, author advice in 5 minutes or less because I gotta get back to writing and so do you. So a couple weeks ago I talked a little bit about being on Facebook and Twitter and social media and kind of what a lot of new authors, the questions they're asking when they're there. And honestly, there was a lot of questions. Now again, I already covered the research stuff, all the stuff where hey, how do I name something? What do I do for research? What do I do for grammar? What do I do for queries? All that kind of stuff. I already covered that. Really what I want to say is that a lot of these new and budding writers, they're like, oh, I've got this great idea for a story, and they will ask, should I write it? And I'm like, every time, somebody's going to respond, yes, write it. Why are you asking an internet of strangers what to do with your story? It's your story. If you're stuck at a point, you're like, hey, how do I get around this? My character has this, no motivation to go on. What do I do? Those kind of things. Yeah, maybe ask somebody on Facebook or Twitter. Hey, how should I get here? But really, it's you really got to own that story, right? Now, granted, I'm more of a planner. I'm somebody who goes into a story kind of already knowing how it's going to turn out. I got the beginning, the middle, and the end. I got kind of a good outline. I still leave some flexibility to really let the characters explore a little bit. But yeah, if you're running by the seat of your pants, yeah, you might get stuck. You might write yourself into a corner. In which case, yeah, maybe go ask for help. But a lot of times they're like, oh, well, I've got this story and it's been done before. They've all been done before. By all means, write it. Provide your perspective on that story because you might have a different twist. Now, obviously, sometimes yours might be very derivative. It might be, you might be writing fan fiction, in which case, yeah, obviously you can't really publish that because it's copyrighted characters that you're using. But yeah, write it. The world will not be a worse place if you end up writing your story. If anything, write it. If you don't like it, throw it away. You don't know if you have this great story unless you just get out there and do what you want to do. Even the point where I've looked around and I've got an idea for kind of a sci-fi King Arthur legend retelling. Kind of space opera style, and I've seen that's out there. People have already written that. People have already done that series a couple times. But I still want to write it. I still want to kind of put my own take on it, put my own twist on it, kind of my science fantasy genre in there. So it's yeah, I see something like that, and it exists. It's I'm not really discouraged because I'm my own writer, and I'm gonna bring my own ideas into kind of the zeitgeist of this idea of King Arthur as a sci-fi space opera. And so really when it comes down to it, it's okay, if you're asking these people on the internet, hey, is this a good story idea? If you're looking for this acceptance elsewhere, maybe you should start writing for yourself. A lot of times, yeah, it's maybe the story you write isn't marketable, isn't commercial or whatever, but if you're writing stuff that you really want to read, that's great, because at the very least you have one audience member who really likes reading your stuff, and it's you. That's great. You got, and if other people like it, even better. But yeah, if you're trying to get people to like you by the stories that you write, I don't know. I generally write for myself. I generally write stories that I would want to read, that I would like. But again, yeah, if you want to be super successful, Charlie, you gotta write stuff that other people are gonna like, and I get it. Maybe that's why you want to ask, hey, is this story a good idea? But in the end, it's you're the one who has to write it. So if you hate it and you're trying to force it out, maybe you shouldn't write it. But again, do whatever you want to do. So, what do you think about these ideas for the 100th episode of Writer Rant? Just realized that. Let's talk about it down in the comments below. Things that you should write, shouldn't write. Yeah. So, anyways, if you have anything else that bothers you about the writing community, sorry I've gone long on this episode. by all means, drop a comment below. Maybe I'll make it in a future episode of Writer Rant. Right now I've got to 100 episodes. I'm not sure if I'll make any more. But if you guys drop some more comments down there, maybe we'll expand out Season 3 out into November. But for right now, if this is the last Writer Rant, thanks everyone for watching. And thank you for watching this perhaps final episode of Writer Rant. I am Benjamin M. Weilert.